Hello everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Road to Rotation. Today we have the purple Magellan from OP02. He's a 5,000 life, 5,000 power character, leader with 5 life, and your turn once per turn. When a Dawn card is returned from the field to your Dawn deck, this leader gains 1,000 power during this turn. So it's not a super strong ability. There's not a ton of stuff to it. The one thing that is most characteristic usually of Magellan is his character, which is 5 cost, 6,000 power. On play, Dawn -1. Your opponent returns 1 Dawn from their field to the Dawn deck. So it's a kind of a resource denial play. And then he also has, on your opponent's turn, when your character is KO'd, your opponent returns 2 of their Dawn cards to their Dawn field. So he is quite resource denial heavy. So I've kind of tried to lean into that. I have Jack, who can give me the Dawn -1 for leader ability plus a discard. I've got Zoro for banish. I've got the Mino Zebra for banish. Got the Law here for that random trash. One of my 2Ks we have is some trash. So I'm leaning pretty heavy into the resource denial piece. And then at the end of the game, we're going to set up behind Katakuri and Lin with just a little bit of removal just in case our opponent gets too big of bodies. And then we've got some resters here in Sanji. And then to mitigate the Dawn minus, we have some Pudding and Kid and Black Maria. So that's kind of how the deck was constructed. It's been a difficult one trying to find something that vaguely worked. So this may even in this version still not go well. But let's just kind of hop into it. All right, first up we have Arlong. This is going to be a very aggressive matchup. They've opted to go first. Yeah, I think this looks good. I am going to keep this. The Linlin's probably going to be important for us. Ooh, the Minnow Zebra is probably a good card to play out early. 7. All right, they're going straight for the double attack. I think it is correct to kind of counter out of this one right now so that we can try to whittle away at their things before they can get their trigger buddies online here. Mino Zebra, I think, will be helpful at kind of keeping their hand low. Going up to 6 on the following turn means we should probably play Kid. Or if they have too many cards, we'll play Law. Okay, so I won't be able to attack on next turn. Here, I'm going to take this one with the hope of being able to counter out of the next one. They have a Jimbei here. I think it's actually better to preserve staying above 4 so these don't get too many free bodies here. We're going to play Kid, and then we're going to go a 6 at Buggy here. Trying to just keep their hand low. Okay, they do defend. Let's see how they play this. They have the Nami, which is unfortunate, but it is how the deck works at the end of the day. We have a 5 here. I'm going to take the first one because I want stuff to counter with. We're going to counter here. 6 we will take. And if they just do swing a 6 here, we get to counter with this Black Marina. Alright, so we do get some good tempo here with the Katakuri on this turn. And because of that, let's just clear some bodies. I think I'm going to get a card out of him either way, and if it is going to successfully hit, then I would rather it be a card off the board rather than a card out of their life. Katakuri here is going to be pretty useful. On our following turn, we're going to be able to Lin as long as we have cards left. Hody, kind of expected that one. Luckily, they do not get to also use leader ability this turn. So a 7 at the Vanisher, that's fine. It's preferred. A 5 at me. I think I'm actually going to take here. And then we will counter. Alright, so they did get there. I didn't get enough in life. I should have countered, but I was hoping that I would be able to keep this Katakuri, because if I counter with the 2 there, then they get to take my Katakuri, which then I have no board against 4 bodies, and that's not something I can maintain. So opponent got off to a quick start there, and I just wasn't able to catch back up. Let's hop into the next one. Next up, we have the Luffy here. They've opted to go first. Yeah, I think this is reasonable. I'm going to keep this. Nothing to do on 2, so we'll just pass back. All right, they're going for an 8. That's an easy take here. Here, let's see. Let's figure out our curve here. If we do Jack, we can get some cards out of their hand, but it does. Let's actually do Pudding and a 6. It would have been better to do it in the opposite order. I should have done a 6 and then played Pudding, because I can lose to a trigger here. But it doesn't look like they have one. So let's see how they play it here. Zoro, give one to lead, that's fine. Oh, this is a very Straw Hat-centric version of this deck. 6 here, I think it is correct to counter a little bit in this early stage. Here, interesting. Do we play out? I think we play out the Magellan. And then I'm going to use the card action, and then we're just going to swing a 7 here. We'll be on 8 next turn, which is probably going to be a Sanji to rest something and try to go at board pretty heavy. They're thinking on a trigger here. Let's see what it is. Or they're not realizing that they have the prompt up. That happens to me sometimes. Yeah, I'm going to pass here. Opponent on 6 Dawn, not 7. I wonder if they were hoping to be on 7. Koala, man, they're just going to get a whole bunch of leader here. So on my turn, I think it's probably correct to okay, an 8. I don't think it's correct to counter that. All right, a 7. I should do a 2 and a 1. Okay, here. So let's do the Sanji. Use the card action. No extra. We're gonna rest down their chopper. Get a card back. Let's just go 6s at these 6s essentially, and see if we can get see how many cards we get out of them. And then 6 again. And then we go for an 8 finally. All right, we do get it. I think we're in a pretty good spot here. We have better board presence than them, and we have more cards in hand. Playing out the Zoro again. So I think that's the 3rd or 4th Zoro. Okay, so we need to be careful around this Robin. So That Robin, 4K or less, means this pudding is in danger. I wonder how they play it here. I don't think they're going to swing with this chopper, although it would be an option for them. She can't swing yet, though, because she doesn't have rush. A 7. I think it's correct to take here just so that I have better stuff for protecting bodies. Big Mom is the correct play. 1 Dawn. We're going to trash this Magellan. He's a little too late. We're going to gain a life. And then I think we just put the Robin on the bottom of their life. We're going to use our card action to get that back. Let's go with a 6 at lead. Oh, they do hit the mole pistol. That's unfortunate. Let's see what they target. Probably the pudding is the correct play. Oh, I guess Sanji. Sanji is something they can KO with it. Let's see if they... Yeah, they do get the Sanji. All right. In that case, I will swing again because I don't need to worry as much about them using cards against me. Let's even up the life totals. Okay. This Big Mom, I think, is going to be real important. And we're going to want to stay a little healthy here. Not worried too much because they don't have too much in the way of good attackers. Rush is something I need to worry about, obviously. But Rush also usually means that it's something for me to swing into on my turn. Let's see how it goes. Okay, another mole pistol. They're going to lose the 2 Dawn here. I think we're probably very effectively going to have... Oh, they did active Dawn. That's unfortunate for them. Another Robin. Not necessarily a problem. It just means we have to use this pudding. I'm gonna have to take this 8, I think. Usohachi is great because it lets us get this chopper out of the way so that we can clear their other attacker here. Not too worried about Robin. 7. I think I'm allowed to go to 1 here. Ooh, a category is a great card here. Unfortunately, it's one that doesn't line up with the Usohachi play that I need to make, I think, here. They do not have that active, so a 10 should be sufficient here. And then we are going to pester the chopper. Yeah, we're going to pester the chopper. And then maybe play out this jack for next turn. Yeah, let's take all your cards if you let me. This one's going to die anyways if I am not careful. And then we're going to play out this jack. And we're going to pass the turn. I think we're okay here. 2K, 2K, 1K, 1K. 1K is probably enough to survive most things that they could play. They're playing out the Sanji. Unfortunately, they forgot to buff the Robin first. Although I don't have a blocker, so it's not a big deal that they did that. They could get rid of Jack or Pudding. I guess they're... Let's see what they get rid of. They get rid of Usohachi. Not one I expected. We're going to give him Black Marina here. They're going for lots of swings rather than 5 here, 5 at 4. We're going to give it a 2. Yeah, now we let it go for sure. Now this is a pretty great spot here. We get to swing here and Don -1. I should have used one Don first. But they do have to discard that last card, so they won't be able to defend this. And then we get to play out Katakuri at the end of it. Okay, now I think it's correct to just take this one off the board. We are going to go here. And then we're going to play out Katakuri in turn, restand you, and gain arrested. It's still not over necessarily. They could have Rush here. Rayleigh's one way of trying to survive a little bit more. I think this Jack's going to get a ton of value against them. So we are going to defend this Jack for sure. Being able to deny them cards multiple turns is going to be great. Yeah, we're going to block here. Yep. So let's do the Zoro here, and then we'll attack. Here, just getting it off the board. They discard, they let it go. Now we can swing a 6 here. And 8 here. See what they get for trigger. Gum UFO. Okay. Oh, that one doesn't. The trigger is not one that they wanted to use. There's nothing to target with it. They're clicking through effects here. And then we swing a 9. This should take the last card, and then we'll play another blocker. And restand you two, gain arrested Dawn. Zoro, their leaders, they have some reasonably large swings here. The Robin, I don't think was the correct play to play that out. I'm gonna swing an 8 here. Let's go ahead and just block. We block. And then it is sufficient to just start swinging with our guys. And this isn't it. Alright, good games to our opponent. They were playing a little bit of an unorthodox list, so kudos for that. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, this will be interesting. We have Nico Robin. I think I want to probably take first from them here. I'm gonna mulligan this. Yeah, I think the Jack. I think we're interestingly both in the resource denial game at this point. I think, and I can play out this Black Maria to both get value off of Jack and off of their ramp. So I'm gonna play out the Jack here and swing a 5. It was correct to do it in the other order, but that's okay. Alright, they do give a 1. Sabo. Interesting. It's not one I expected to see. I guess it's just for the trigger mostly, but it's only a 1k. So, not one I expected. We're probably going to have to take this banish hit. If they swing low enough, then we can, like if they play a 3-drop and swing a 6, then we can take advantage of it. Nope. We're just going to have to eat a banish. That's fine. Okay. So our opponent is playing Okamawe. It's clear they're not sure what they're dealing with here. They're on 5. We're on 5. So we can play out Black Maria. Cancel that. All rested done. We'll swing a 5. Done minus here. Our opponent is needing to discard here. Unless they're just playing these for trigger. I mean, it's very possible that they're just playing this for a trigger. And then they take. And we'll swing a 7. Opponent only going up to 7 cards. In the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. This jack probably dies here, but if it doesn't, then we are chilling. Because we'll play out the kid, and then use the jack ability. You know what? I am actually going to protect it. 2k and a... Okay, they're probably going to play... I'm going to get rid of the law here. We're going to protect it. I think that this is worth the number of cards. That's fine here. So here we're going to play out the kid. We're going to attack here. Gain an active. They're at 8. We're at 7. And then they take. And then, oh, they hit another trigger. So they're going for really heavy into the triggers here. Oh, they have to discard 2 for the Nikolvia. I'm gonna go for a 7. And then we're going to, wow. All right, so that doesn't make a difference with the Black Maria here. Opponent's definitely churning here on their stuff. Let's see how they play this. If they're going for like if they have Yamatos here, then we're getting into a pretty precarious spot pretty quick. But let's see how they play it out. We saw at least one 9-mom earlier. Oh, there's 3 9-moms already in the trash. Wow. So a 7. At leader, I don't think it's worth. We're gonna let that one go. What's coming here? Probably a Sanji. We're gonna let him go now. Oh, another one. All right, so they are holding up Gum Gum Giant at this point. So how do we play this? Do we just burn through their guys, give them 2 life, and let's see here. Five, and then we get back 2. That seems reasonable. One return, KOU, use card action, gain active done, and then 8. You know what? I'm just gonna put it on him. Okay. Here we just get to take, and try to. If they keep playing this. Let's see. We know they don't have too much in the way of big bodies at this point. I'm gonna take this. Okay, Magellan's not my favorite card to see at this point in the game. They're already on 10, so it's gonna be hard to. Block 2K 1K. Another one. Okay. So how many is that? That's all of their Kumas that are out here. Alright, so they discarded a giant. Ooh, this is going to be a great card here. Deploy, use card action. We want to trigger you first to gain an active. Use card action is fine. We have 6 left. Deploy you. I think I'll swing a 6 here. We do eventually have to get through these hits, so. Okay, they do take. Are they gonna get a trigger? They get another draw trigger. It's an interesting list from my opponent here. We are on no cards, so our opponent doesn't have it unless they can deal with Kid, but they're in a really strong spot here. They have us way beat on cards. Those triggers have been great for them. They have the Yamato. Okay, the Yamato is backbreaking here. Yeah, they actually just straight get it here because I can't get enough to do it. I was not expecting this version of the list. It's very heal centric. Yeah, wow, that's like just nonstop heal and triggers. It's an interesting list. I don't think I like the idea of putting Okamawe in there, and I don't know. What do you play? And you just don't play anything in the early game, and it's just all triggers. Well, interesting list. They ended up winning it. I think I'm kind of in a tough spot with my leader, but good to see Robin out there in the wild. But let's go ahead and do a wrap up. All right, so here for the wrap up, I think the reality of a lot of these early leaders is just you don't get enough value for your leader ability, and the leaders are just inherently stronger in the future. We saw in the Robin matchup, we're both kind of sitting in that resource denial phase, and their ability to just heal a bunch of times while having an even stronger resource denial ability. It's just like they have me beat on all fronts. And it's just really tough to kind of keep up with decks nowadays that are just going to outpace you, outmatch you. I do think that there's probably a little bit more tuning that could be done. The Jack was kind of good. I really wish it was a 5K just so that it was a little bit easier to defend. But I do kind of think that this resource denial plan can work. It's just a kind of an awkward spot where if you play into it and your opponents just go to outvalue you can't really, it doesn't matter if you're denying them resources if their resources are just stronger than yours. So unfortunately these ones are going to kind of rotate out without getting any real value at the end of the day. Magellan has seen a little bit of play recently in the Limb deck, just as a way of really messing up your opponent's curve when they really want to be able to play out their 10 drops, and you just say, nah, you don't get to play it out this turn. But other than that, I think most of these cards here are just a little bit outmatched, and it's a little unfortunate. But that'll wrap it up for this one. Next week we'll be back with another and probably even harder challenge here in the purple black Z, or Zephyr. I don't remember how they translate it, but it's going to be a difficult one. So hope you guys are looking forward to seeing me struggle through that one. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.